and they can feel like torture, and they can make a man into a giant. But the biggest moment of this season has yet to come. With 4 games left, the fate of the Giants still hangs in the balance. Everybody is waiting for the next big moment, and it might just be coming up next. Lots and lots of sunshine here at AT&T Park as the fans file in. This is the last time the Giants will see the Arizona Diamondbacks in the final game of this 3-game series. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwight Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Ruocco. Just another big game, and the baseball will be handed to Madison Bumgarner.
Well, Madison Bumgarner's been a pretty good guy to hand the ball to. Now, you say, well, he doesn't have a win here at AT&T. That doesn't mean anything. He's been throwing the ball great. He's been giving his team a chance to win every time he's gone out there. Interesting dynamic in this Giants clubhouse. Aubrey Huff, who's a 10-year vet, this is really his first time to go this deep into games that mean something for Madison Bumgarner. Well, he thinks every year's like this. He's a 21-year-old kid, and he has been oblivious to pressure, and I think he's going to do fine today.
I think he is, too. He's been fantastic. All right, when we come back, Amy G, she's going to look at some of Pat Burrell's home runs this year. A lot of them have been big, including the one last night. Amy G, Pat Burrell's big flies, right after these messages.
you by AT&T. Find out what's possible with the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Toyota. More people say yes to Toyota than any other brand in California. Learn why at your Toyota dealer today.
We've got a little day game action at the yard. The sun is out, a beautiful day at AT&T Park. The Giants looking good and feeling good. They have won the first 2 games of this 3-game series against the Arizona Diamondbacks, and they are in first place in the NL West with 4 games left to play. Welcome back. I'm Amy Gutierrez. There is a reason why Pat Burrell's nickname is Pat the Bat. He's risen to the occasion multiple times this season with the big hit, one of the most memorable when he put himself in Giants-Dodgers rivalry lore with a 2-run home run back on July 31st to beat LA. But he's done it since, too, most recently on the Giants' last road trip in Colorado, and then again last night against the Diamondbacks. Those 2 home runs are Ford Right choice this afternoon as we take you back.
And the 2-1. High drive. Left field. It is out of here. Pat Burrell with home run number 17. Drive. Deep to left field. Out of here. Oh, man.
Well, it's pretty easy to sum up Pat Burrell. He's been clutch, he's been a good ad, and he's been a great Giant. All right, the final game of this 3-game series set to take place in moments. But first, after these messages, we head out to our Willie Mays Plaza for an update. Stay with us.
Wrap up this 3-game series. Our Game Time weather is brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The Admission Free Boardwalk is open this weekend. Very nice 72 degrees, light winds at 9 miles per hour. Humidity is at 59%, and it is sunny. All right, let's take a look at the Diamondbacks starting lineup, and it's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It'll be Stephen Drew. He went 2 for 5 last night with a home run, followed by Rusty Ryle and then Kelly Johnson. Young will be the cleanup hitter. LaRoche will hit 5th. Mark Reynolds' first start in the series. He'll hit in the 5th slot. Then it's Hester, Gillespie, and Barry Enright.
All right, what do you say? We check out the Giants defense. It's brought to you by Black Diamond Brewing Company. It'll be Burrell, Torres, and Guillen. That's your outfield. Sandoval is joined by Uribe on the left side. Sanchez Huff on the right side. Good to see Freddie Sanchez back in the lineup. Buster Posey will be in the squat, putting down the signs. And on the bump today will be the kid, 21-year-old Madison Bumgarner, making start number 18. Still looking for his first win here at AT&T. His numbers are fantastic. 79 strikeouts against 25 walks. 106 innings. They've been strong innings. So what you're going to see from this guy are strikes. He pounds the zone. He attacks on the first pitch. Fastball, cutter, changeup, curveball. And he fields his position extremely well, holds his runners on well. I mean, he's the whole package. Let's take a look at the Toyota keys to the game. What do you say the Giants get a home win for Bumgarner? They get a win for Bumgarner, they get a win for this whole city. Number 2, put the heat on the pods. Simply because they're playing 20 minutes before the pods. You can put some runs up and you can make their day a little bit longer. And finally, light this candle. Every crowd that has been here the last month has been electric. And when the Giants get them into the ball game early, the electricity is something you can see. Last night it was Tim Lincecum who did it. The night before that, it was the offense. So whoever does it, we don't care. We just want to see that candle lit.
Freddie Sanchez back in the lineup. This was Sanchez before the ball game, testing that shoulder out. Had a shot on Monday to calm things down, help it get to a point where he might be able to play today. Thought he could play last night. Bruce Bochy said, let's give it another day. And that other day is right now.
Now he was playing catch with head trainer Dave Greshner, and Dave Greshner said, Freddie Sanchez is fine. He says, but I need a cortisone shot.
Well, we knew that 10 years ago. So here's Stephen Drew. He will lead this ball game off. And the first pitch of the ball game is on its way, and it's a called strike. It was called by Bill Miller, the home plate umpire. Then it's Fairchild, Cooper, and Riley from first to third. Drew hitting at 278. Swing and a miss. Nothing in 2. He's a good hitter. He's got power. And he's done some things to really hurt the Giants. One ball and 2 strikes. Drew on Tuesday night took an 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Last night 2 for 5. He hit the home run off of Lincecum to start out the ball game. Got him, and that's how this game gets started.
Well, that's a perfect slider. You always look at what kind of location any pitcher is going to come into a ball game, because they're a little amped up the first inning, and chances are they can be up or down or out. They might not have great command. All 4 pitches he threw in this sequence to Stephen Drew were perfect. Take a look at our Ultra Mo. It's brought to you by your Bay Area Hyundai dealer. Look at the elbow. It's higher than the shoulder. He's in a great position. He's a low 3/4 slot. Slight crossover step.
Here's Ryle, who takes a pitch down low. 1 ball and no strikes. Ryle at 261, 3 home runs, 11 RBIs. Pops this one up. Sandoval shading his eyes. Now in the coaching box. Now doing the karaoke, and he makes the catch. I have a feeling that was a little tougher than we thought.
You never know how many stages of the pop-up dancer is going to be, and this is about 6. He comes over, I got this one. Now all of a sudden he starts doing the slide step. Then he starts doing the karaoke, and it winds up being an Aztec 2-step high backhander, and he gobbles it up. Nice going. Just another play here in Northern California.
Here's Kelly Johnson. Kelly Johnson hits one up the middle. Sanchez on the dive, and he was just about to be tested, and it may have been a good thing.
Well, ideally, when you have a guy who's got a little stress in his shoulder, you'd like to see him have every throw be a balanced one where he gets his feet underneath it. Because if you're throwing and you don't have the balance under your legs, you use more of your arm. And this would have been one of those throws. Would have been off balance, perhaps going off his back foot. So the fact that he didn't throw that may have been a good thing.
Chris Young at 259 does have a little ownage on Bumgarner. Runner goes, and Posey cannot get a grip. It'll be a stolen base. Johnson's 13.
And right away, the D-backs have come out aggressive. They played this whole series tough. We expect this game to be the same way. That's a testimony to Kirk Gibson, their new skipper.
On the appeal, did he go no swing or swing?
He said no swing. Let's take a look.
Here's the call. This is what I was trying to figure out. Oh, well, yeah, that was easy. One ball and one strike.
He signaled no swing, and he checked his wall, all in the same motion. Multitasker.
Two balls and a strike to Young. 3 for 5 lifetime against Bumgarner. Three and one. Couple of quick outs, and now a 3-1 count to Chris Young. A look from the Giants dugout, right around where the top step is as you come in from the tunnel. 3 balls and 1 strike. Three and two.
Big breaking ball, started it out in the left-handed batter's box and bring it back in back door. He's got a real nice feel with that breaking ball right now. He's throwing darts with it. He's got better command of that than he does the fastball.
On the ground to Sandoval. Sandoval's got it. On to first, side retired. No runs, a hit, 1 left after 1/2 inning. Diamondbacks nothing. Giants coming up.
Airlines and Wayne Carter.
All right, it goes like this. Torres, Sanchez, and then Aubrey Huff. Buster Posey will be the cleanup hitter. Then Pat Burrell. Last night, a big 3-run home run. Oh, yeah, that was the difference. Yen, followed by Uribe, will hit 7th, and Sandoval and Bumgarner in the 9th spot.
Defensively, for these D-backs, they're going to have Real, Young, and Gillespie. That's your outfield. Drew Reynolds on the left side. Johnson, LaRoche on the right side. Hester will be in the squad putting down the signs, and on the bump today will be Barry Enright, young right-hander who's really opened up some eyes in Arizona. And what he does so well, I mean, he throws strikes. This is a kid who's out of Stockton. He's got a really good command of 4 pitches and 3 speeds.
Torres takes the first pitch high.
Enright, 6'3", 220. He's a rookie. 24 years of age. I see a fastball he can two-seam and four-seam with a little cutter, a curveball, and a changeup.
High pop-up down the left field line that will sail out of play. And the count is even at a ball and a strike. Torres hitting at 268. 15 home runs, 61 driven in, and that's the bullseye. Right over the cars in left field. Down low, 2 balls and a strike.
See a lot of those curveballs from Enright to left-handed hitters today. He likes to bounce that big curveball on top of home plate, especially when he's ahead in the count.
Three and one as Enright sails that one outside. Sanchez on deck. Just underway here at AT&T Park. Another very nice crowd here at the ballpark. Foul back. It's 3-2 as Enright went right at him. Give you an update as to before this game started where the Giants were at. 2 games up on the Padres. The Braves a game and a half up on the Padres in the wild card. 3-2. Out of play. That half game will be determined today. The half game will be over with because the Padres play today and the Braves do not. And that's where you get that half game.
That's what the Giants have done before the All-Star break. 9-20 against the National League West. After the All-Star break, 27-12.
27-12.
Talking about turning around your fortunes. But, you know, that was something that everybody said that was going to be the key to the Giants' second half of this, or their whole season, is how well they could do within their division. Well, they were playing 310 ball the first half, almost 700 ball the second half. That's remarkable.
Torres on the ground and a base hit into right field. So the Giants got the guy they want on the bases, and that's the speedy Andres Torres.
Well, it's a get-it-in fastball challenge. He throws on the outside corner. And Torres said, weight on that back foot, nice balance through the swing. Knows he's going to get a pretty good pitch to hit. That's the advantage of being a leadoff guy with speed. They don't want to walk you, so they're going to challenge you, and he takes advantage of it.
24 steals on the year. And here's Sanchez. Sanchez off the end of the bat, and that'll sail out to Chris Young. First pitch, 1 out. And here's Aubrey Huff. Aubrey Huff at 291. 2 for 4 last night. And back on the dive is Torres. Huff has a home run against Enright. He's 2 for 8 lifetime with a big fly. Down low.
Enright's one of those guys who, if he senses a guy out there is on him, or if the guy's got power and it can hurt him, he'll stay away from the fastball count with a fastball. He can throw any one of his pitches over in any count. He's got that much confidence in his stuff and his ability to control it.
Low again, and it's 2-0.
Enright is a guy who doesn't blow you away with a lot of velocity. In a way, he's very similar to the type of pitcher that the Giants saw last night, Ian Kennedy. I think in a perfect world, you wouldn't back those guys up, have them pitch back-to-back days just because they are similar in their style. And he has been scuffed a little bit. 0-4 ERA in the 8th. This says the young arm is tired.
2-0 pitch to Huff and a swing. Going to miss. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Big two-seam sink. So we saw the last time we saw Enright in Arizona. I mean, he does have movement, and more importantly, for a young guy, he understands that movement. There's the target.
So they have interchangeable names on that? Is that it?
Oh, yeah. Very creative.
Buster Posey to follow. Roach holding on to Andres Torres. And he goes. Pitches low. Throw down to second. Not in time.
That's a great tip for young base stealers. If you watch Andres Torres and a lot of the other really good base stealers around baseball, when they go into a head-first slide, they go to the outside part of the bag. That's the right field side, just to make them get a little bit farther away from a swipe tag. I mean, this was close. Hester's got a good arm. And Andres Torres just does get that left hand in there under the glove of Stephen Drew. And look at him take the outside corner. And that's why you're safe.
3-1 to Aubrey Huff. And now a pickoff play is put on. Torres just gets back in.
Enright's a good athlete. I mean, he's not afraid to put the pickoff moves on. You don't normally see pickoff moves in September. You see Drew on a daylight play. That was close.
Three and 1. And the walk. And here's Buster Posey. Should we switch him over now?
Oh yeah, get the Posey card, get the Posey card, get the Posey card.
Come on. Not the ice cream cone for crying out loud.
I got it. Jeez, Mom. I say Mom's the MVP in this whole thing. Commander Ice Cream Cone, he's just shut it down.
Here's Buster Posey.
It's like Mom and her twin sister.
Commander who?
Yeah. He gets a day off of school. Mom has to work the side. Life is good for that young man with the ice cream cone.
1-0 pitch to Posey is inside. 2 balls and no strike. Yeah, this is.
He's cheering her on. Mom, he's coming up. Mom.
Commander Ice Cream Cone could care less about the Buster Posey sign. Yeah, Mom, you're doing a good job.
Yeah, man. Make sure you hang it right side up.
You know what he's thinking? This was never my idea. Ever.
Mom gets it done, though.
2-0 to Posey. Posey fouls it down the right field line.
Man, that's the kind of pitch you want. That's the kind of swing you want in 2-0 count. Posey has hit Enright well.
The long look to second. Trying to get Posey to swing at that pitch, and Posey is not biting. Torres at second, Huff at first. A couple of guys that run pretty good. Three and 2. And now, maybe, you might see Bruce Bochy send the runners.
Well, I think he will, because Enright is a guy that can get a ground ball. He is a strike thrower. And you're betting on contact from Buster Posey, which is a pretty good bet.
3-2. And right, just keeping an eye on Andres Torres. If you're Aubrey Huff, you're the back runner, and you got to go because sometimes those catchers will try to throw out that back runner. Three and two. Runners do go, and Posey bounces it to short. Both runners will advance. 2 outs. And Pat Burrell will hit.
Left fielder, number 9, Pat Burrell.
Nice round of applause for last night's hero. It's Burrell. Oh, Mom. Gone.
I can't stand it.
Pat B.
Here's Pat Burrell. And a first pitch strike, and it's 0-1.
She's just wearing out the peanut gallery right now.
Torres at third. Huff is at second. In right out of the windup. And a shot foul, and it's 0-2.
I think we've seen about Pat Burrell. He makes good 2-strike adjustments for a tall hitter.
He's behind in the count right here. Pop straight back. Last night it lit this place up. It went from 1-0 to 3-1 in one swing of the bat.
Ian Kennedy did not make a lot of mistakes, and that was a fastball down and in around 90. And the big fella did not miss it.
Straightens Burrell up. 1-2. And right, and the 1-2 pitch. He got him, and that'll end the inning. Giants strand a pair. We'll head to the second. No score. Nothing as we head to the second inning here at AT&T Park. It'll be Adam LaRoche who fouled the first pitch off. It's no balls and 1 strike. Reynolds to follow, and then John Hester. Breaking ball for a strike to make it 0-2.
Giants have pitched the row 12, 1 for 8 with 4 strikeouts. You saw the graphic. Dangerous hitter. You can say that about 8 times up and down this Diamondback lineup. They will strike out. And they strike out at a rate that is historical, but they do hit home runs.
In the dirt, it's 1-2. LaRoche last night took an 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Two and 2. Oh for 6 lifetime against Madison Bumgarner. To left field, struck well. Burrell is going to play this one off the cars, and it'll be a leadoff double for Adam LaRoche. Well, everyone knows Giants fans are the best in baseball, and to thank you, Sunday, October 3rd, we're hosting Fan Appreciation Day presented by Scottsdale CVB. We're giving away exciting prizes throughout the game to thank Giants fans. The grand prize is the 2011 Toyota Prius. Come on out. Here's Reynolds.
They're ready. There you go. Not their first rodeo.
Reynolds with a bunt. And Posey is going to come up a little short.
Well, that's kind of a surprise. Now we know that Reynolds' hand, his right hand, has been hurting. It jammed earlier in the month and it hasn't been able to heal up. But for him to bunt, I mean, this guy's got as much power as anybody in the game. So a guy with that kind of power, that type of threat, when he puts a bunt on you, in essence, he's doing you a favor.
Maybe a little sneak attack with Sandoval playing back, but he's behind in the count now, 0-1. Swing and a miss, nothing in 2.
You watch Mark Reynolds take batting practice, and it's intimidating. I mean, you don't want to be the pitcher that day and be out here when he's taking BP. It'll scare you.
Out of play, he flips balls out of the park.
Yeah, just half swings. When he really gets after it and gets into one, he'll hit it. Well, he'll hit it in this ballpark where nobody's hit it before.
You got him.
207 strikeouts for Reynolds this year.
Dave Kingman had the lowest average to hit 30 home runs in a season. And Reynolds has got a shot to break that. Here's John Hester. Hester has never faced Bumgarner before, at least at the major league level. At a 209 average with a couple of home runs, 7 RBIs. And a strike, that evens the count. Top of the second inning. Glad you joined us on a very nice Thursday afternoon for baseball. We're at the corners of 3rd and King. 1-2.
Good hard slider again. I mean, anytime he needs to make a pitch today, these first couple of innings, he's gone to that slider.
Got him.
See you later. Ahead to count 1-2. Just lower your sights on it. Get it down below the zone. Let it fall out towards the dirt. Let him chase. Perfectly placed. Third strikeout.
Here's Gillespie, Cole Gillespie. .232, couple of home runs, 12 RBIs. And a fastball for a strike at 92.
Bumgarner's another one of those guys that definitely build a fastball. Like Matt Cain, oftentimes he'll start at 91, 92, and by the time he gets the fourth inning, he's throwing 94, 95.
In tight. One ball and one strike with 2 outs, and LaRoche at second base. A little low, 2-1. This will be pitch number 31 for Bumgarner. On the ground, Sandoval. Sandoval in the dirt. Aubrey Huff digs it out. Guillen will lead things off.
In the lineup today. I spoke with Freddie actually yesterday when he got to the ballpark, and he said he felt ready to go then, but they were going to give him an extra day rest just to work on his throw. They had him take some grounders today, and Bruce Bochy said in the manager's meeting, you know what, he throws back to normal now versus what he was throwing like in Colorado when he injured his arm. Secondly, for everyone, the Giants announced their pitching rotation for the Padres series after last night's game. They are moving Cain up. He will pitch tomorrow night, Zito Saturday, and Jonathan Sanchez Sunday. They wanted Matt Cain to pitch on normal rest. Dwayne and Mike?
All right, thanks, Amy, as Guillen flies out to left field.
Those are the matchups. Matt Cain will be taking on Clayton Richard, the lefty for the Padres. Barry Zito against Tim Stauffer, who's been a late addition to that rotation, but really throwing great ball right now. And Jonathan Sanchez against the young sensation, Matt Latos.
Here's Uribe hitting .246. Pops this one up. Right side, LaRoche over by friendly territory. And it'll be in the dugout and then out of the dugout. Check swing. Line drive foul.
Smashed foul.
Well, with Uribe, you never know.
Yep, they've got the target for Uribe. All set.
Hooks this one past Tim Flannery. Swing and a miss. He got him.
Well, Giants baseball is brought to you by Big O Tires. Post your comments about the San Francisco Giants on the Big O Tires sports blog at csnbay.com. Big O Tires.
Here's Sandoval. Sandoval at 267. Home runs, 61 driven in. He's had 3 hits in the series. And Bruce Bochy really believes that he's starting to see some signs that Sandoval is getting his swing back. And if the manager believes it, guess what? You're going to find yourself in the lineup. One and 2.
Yeah, he wants that one again. He's not afraid to give himself a little jolt in the head with a bat in the middle of an at-bat.
He hits it high. He hits it deep. Out of here.
Uh-oh, we have a scramble.
Home run number 13. I think he got it back again. That same pitch.
I think he did. And that's one of the longest splash hits we've seen in a while. The Giants are on the board. And this guy's soaking wet.
He wasn't going to take any chances of. There's Bumgarner, slow roller, and right on the backhand. He'll take his time, and that'll end the inning. Pablo Sandoval gets both cheeks into this one. It's into the Cove, and it's bye-bye, baby, 1-0 Giants.
Giants. We're in the top of the third inning, and, well, let's take a look at our Dodge Ram drive of the game. Pablo Sandoval takes a high fastball. That's right. That was not a mistake. Enright pitching to the scout report, and the Panda just turned it around. Splash hit number 55, and for Panda, that's home run number 13, but that is our Dodge Ram drive of the game.
Out into right center field. Guillen a long run, and he's going to track it down off the bat of Barry Enright, who can hit.
Yes, he can. And here's another guy that can hit. One more look from the splash camera at just how far out in the pond this one went. And here's where the fun begins.
I'm not going to risk it. Another ball came flying in right at the very end.
Yep, it was worth it.
Yeah, pal.
Headphones are wet. Could care less.
Here's Drew. Takes low. 1 ball and no strikes.
Yeah, was not going to lose.
He broke the official kayak rules. He left the ship. There's a shot up the middle for a base hit. So Drew, after striking out of the first, comes back.
Talk about power. You know, we know how strong this kid is, and when he gets his weight on the back foot and transfers it with balance, it doesn't slide on his front step, and he gets that whole backside throw to the ball, it jumps. And that thing went for a while. Meanwhile, back to the Barnes Navy.
Here's Rusty Ryle. I'm not sure if there are rules out there, but I think that last one was broken.
And there's the wake-up call that he gives himself. You can see the dings in the helmet.
Fastball for a strike.
In the Giants clubhouse today, read the paper, had a cup of coffee, and the Panda walked by, and he held up 3 fingers. And he said, "Magic number." I mean, it's fun to have a magic number in the team. I mean, there's a tragic number, the number before you get eliminated, and then, of course, there's the magic number.
Up the middle, over the bag, and a base hit. So back-to-back singles, and here comes Kelly Johnson, who singled in the first.
But when you're lucky enough to be playing for a team that's contending, and you get a magic number, you have fun with it.
Kelly Johnson singled to the right of Freddie Sanchez, who gloved it but couldn't make a throw. Drew at second, Ryle at first. Baumgartner just keeping an eye on Drew. Pitch strike, and it's 0-1. This one off the plate. No runs on 4 hits for Arizona, a run on 2 hits for the Giants. Two and one.
This becomes a big pitch. He has been red hot. 14 for his last 32 with 4 big flies.
Two and two.
And he just took away the swing. And he did that with great location. Perhaps Johnson was sitting on a breaking ball. I don't know, but he was locked up on this fastball outside corner.
Got him.
Came back with a curveball and took his legs out of that swing. So it looked to be a pretty promising at bat with Johnson singing a 2-1 count and being red hot. It winds up being a strikeout for Bumgarner. And there's the payoff pitch. And look at the lower body. Gone. Good high position. Late snap. For a red hot hitter, you take his legs away. You've made a great pitch.
Here's Chris Young. Pitch is low, 1 ball and no strikes. Young bounced out to Pablo Sandoval to end the first inning. And a outside corner breaking ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Drew at second, Ryle at first. Just inside, 2 balls and a strike. Diamondbacks will finish out their season in LA. They'll play 3 games against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Young foul right past Bill Newcomb. Heads up, Bill. Two and two. Got him. Bumgarner pitches out of the mess. 5 strikeouts. Hitting first here in the 3rd inning, and he takes a strike. He let off the first inning with a base hit. Sid, bring your work to the yard. Come on.
That's right. Leave your tie on, open up your laptop, watch the game, do a little work.
We do it all the time.
Yes, we do. We're happy to see other people around the yard wearing ties. It makes us feel good.
Morris cannot hold up. It's 1 and 2. Freddie Sanchez and then Aubrey Huff. Got him.
Nice tight little slider.
All right, time now for Subway Eat Fresh. Ask Creek and Kite. Georgia from Menlo Park wants to know, would you like to see AT&T Park tweaked somehow to make it a bit more batter friendly?
Well, I would like to see him do something with the batter's eye out in center field, that if you could take away some of the shine, and perhaps you may have to take out the advertising billboard that they have up there. But what we saw in Colorado, I think, is a good idea that would take away that shine that is problematic around batting practice when you have early starts. They put ivy on the wall. Saw it in Philadelphia as well. It took the shine right away, and it was a good batter's eye.
And a quick 0-2 to Sanchez.
I think this ballpark is definitely a ballpark that favors the pitcher, and when it's hard to see because of a batter eye that has glare, I think that's something you need to resolve.
Sanchez pops it up down the left field line. It's going to be Drew in fair territory. Two outs for Aubrey Huff. Huff drew a walk in the first. Breaks his bat. LaRoche goes to the bag. And a 1-2-3 inning for Barry Enright. It remains 1-0 Giants. Well, the rival Padres will be in town tomorrow night. It's also the 30th anniversary of the Willie Mack Award. Past participants of the award will be on hand to help honor who the Giants choose as the Willie Mack Award winner this year. Former winners Jeff Kent, Robbie Thompson, Darrell Evans, many others will be here to celebrate. My partner will be on the field tomorrow. See if tickets are available. Go to sfgiants.com. Down the left field line. Foul. And it's a quick 0-2. Here's your winners. All reports are that William McCovey is doing his very best to be here tomorrow night. In the dirt, 1-2. Opposite field double for LaRoche to lead off the second. Got him. In
the breaking ball. That has just been a lethal pitch. Now, that's 6 strikeouts in a row or not in a row, but in the game for Madison Bumgarner. And the strikeout pitch has just been consistently the breaking ball. The slider and the curveball both have just been nasty. Right now, we're going to ask our trivia question brought to you by AT&T. Rethink Possible. The question, which position player won Rookie of the Year with the fewest games played?
Reynolds struck out in the second. First pitch is inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Pablo Sandoval hit a solo home run in the second inning. It's 1-0 Giants. 2-0 to Reynolds. Padres have had a runner in scoring position in every inning so far. And Bumgarner has held them to no runs. And it's 3-0.
I don't think you can get one more guy in the Willie McCovey loft out in right field. I mean, you talk about a bunch of sardines out there. Holy smokes. Ballpark has really become a fun place to come this year. Fans are feeling it, but if you look down the right field line, that looks like the Vienna Boys Choir.
There's a lot of blue shirts in that crowd. I mean, all they got to go over is one more archway, and it's very nice there.
Yeah, totally free, too, I might add.
Well, I think that's part of the same room.
Oh, the second level, yeah, that's right. Now, this is part of the loft, but they're not having any of it. That's a ship of manly men.
Either that or that one young lady's the most popular girl in the joint.
She is. There's your MVP.
She's got to ditch that guy. Way too much talking.
Yeah, she's just trying to watch the game, pal. Oh, yeah.
This guy's trying to explain a balk.
MVP.
Hester struck out in the second. Good look at this beautiful ballpark. On the ground towards the hole and into the hole. What did Bruce Jenkins write the other day? It's still a miracle, this ballpark.
It is. Just gets better every year. I mean, now you're starting to layer historical years on top of it, years that fans remember and talk about. Certainly 2010 is one of them. We've had lots to talk about this season. A lot of fun to come to this yard, walk around, take a lap, see the memories that make up Giants baseball.
Well, Bumgarner just loaded the bases by hitting Gillespie. Well, this is how you make it tough on yourself. A walk, a base hit, and now a hit batsman.
Just cuts a fastball in on the knee. And remember, as you see the hit batsman with our Ultramo, and remember that if Barry Enright, the pitcher for the D-backs, he can hit. So right now, Bumgarner's got his hands full.
So Enright will hit with the bases loaded and only one out. Enright hit a fly ball to right fielder Jose Guillen in the third inning. He hits that same ball and this game is tied. One ball and no strikes. Foul back to even the count. Enright's got 5 RBIs. He's 8 for 32. Two balls and a strike. Good take by Enright. Joe Youngblood threw a long set of signs in there somewhere. Might have been something, probably nothing. 2-1. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Nice location. He's looking for a pitch to get a ground ball that gets him 2 outs. I mean, that's what he's pitching for. But now that he's got to a 2-2 count, he has a chance to go for the strikeout. And he may go for it.
Two-two pitch. And now full count.
Tell you what, that was a great pitch. Breaking ball just missed the strike zone, and how Enright can take that. Well, he's got a pretty good eye. Next pitch will be number 65.
Hit out to right field. Tagging is Reynolds. Guillen will throw the ball to third. And this game is tied.
Well, it turns out to be a nice situation like that for Barry Enright.
Now batting, shortstop, number 6.
So the walk to Reynolds ends up scoring. And here's Drew. Drew was struck out and he singled. Hester's at third. Gillespie is at first. Swing and a miss. 0-1. Bumgarner to Drew, and Drew takes a breaking ball wide. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Pretty straight away defensively. Drew will hit the ball all over.
2 balls and a strike.
A lot of pitches.
Runner goes, swinging a bouncing ball right to Uribe, who steps on the bag, and that ends the inning. A 1-1 ball game.
solo shot in the second inning. It's very clear he's feeling much more comfortable at the plate as of late. I spoke to him the other night about the adjustments he's been making, and he said Bam Bam Mullins, the Giants hitting instructor, had him look at video from 2009 and look at his stance back then. What Pablo noticed, guys, was what he's doing now is he was inching into the plate and up in the box. He's moved back in the box, off the plate, and widened his stance. He said he feels much more balanced and has better timing. Gentlemen?
All right, here's Buster Posey, who takes a strike. On the ground to short. Drew across the diamond. A lot of work goes into those slumps, you know?
Yeah. All right, well, as Posey heads back, we're going to ask and answer our trivia question brought to you by AT&T. We think possible which position player won Rookie of the Year with the fewest games played? Well, everybody knows it was Willie McCovey. 52 games in 1959. He was that good.
Burrell struck out in the first inning. Here he looks at a strike. A bullet foul. Ryan Howard had 88 games. See some of the other winners.
Bob Horner, 1978. That's the quickest bat to the inside corner I ever saw. You could not jam him. Hamlin, 101 games. Bunbury, 1973 with the Orioles, 110. And Buster Posey, definitely in the hunt. Enright just missed with that little wraparound sinker on the outside corner.
Two-two pitch. And a full count with Guillen to follow. Burrell fights this one off.
Challenge fastball, good location outside corner. And he just missed that one. Just underneath it.
Pops this one out to shallow left field. It'll be Ryle putting it away. 2 outs for Jose Guillen. Guillen 0 for 1, a fly ball to left. Takes a lot of first pitches. Bouncing ball up the middle and a base hit. So a 2-out single, and that'll bring up Juan Uribe.
Well, that breaks the string. I mean, since the home run from Sandoval, Enright had retired 6 in a row, so that gets him back in the stretch.
Uribe struck out in the second. Way outside. 1 ball and no strikes. High fly ball into left center field. Chris Young waiting for this one to come down, and that'll end the inning. We will head to the 5th. It's 1-1. 1-1 ball game. Dad with a sense of humor. Is Rusty Riles going to lead things off?
Well, dads are in charge of that. Yeah, they got to keep things light.
Ryle with a single in the third. It has not been smooth sailing for Madison Bumgarner today. He's had to work every inning.
Has not had a 1-2-3. And this is the heart of the order coming through. One thing I like about this guy, though, I mean, he definitely commits to a pitch. And he stays on that pitch. He doesn't let a lot of extracurriculars sort of cloud his vision on a pitch. He commits to it.
Hit on the ground to Uribe, who makes the play. Visit the official online shop of the Giants at sfgiants.com for the largest selection of authentic postseason caps, t-shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts, and more. sfgiants.com. Kelly Johnson is 1 for 2.
But usually with Bumgarner, he'll get some cheap outs where he doesn't have to expend a lot of energy. A lot of outs within 3 pitches, quick outs. And he hasn't had a lot of those today. Not the norm.
Sliced foul into the seats. September ERAs. Look at that. Sweeping breaking ball, 1-2. And a line drive into right field. Bumgarner tried it again, and Johnson wasn't having it.
Well, he just caught too much strike zone. I mean, he had some count leverage there to be able to pick a corner or fall out of the strike zone with it. And look at this thing, drops out right out over the middle of the plate. And what's the easiest part of the strike zone to defend when you're in a 2-strike situation? Well, pitches that are up around the belt, out over the plate, and that's what it was.
Here's Chris Young.
Joey Johnson stole a base back in the first inning. So, Kat, you steal a base your first at bat, get a base hit, now you steal a bag. You think you can steal again?
Well, I'm assuming that he probably has a pretty good read at Bumgarner's move. So if he does, then absolutely. Check swing, look out.
Everybody's good. We're good. I think it was whistling in there.
Little fish job in the left field. That's going to hurt. And Johnson stops at second. And once again, here we are.
Chris Ray up. Second time he's had a hump. Won't take him long. David Getty going to come out and give Chris Ray a little more time. And you're right. Here they are again. It just has been one of those kinds of days for Madison Bumgarner. If you're Bruce Bochy, you're kind of going against what the standard knowledge is when a guy gets in a stretch a lot. I mean, you let him work out a couple of jams, but it starts to be 5 jams, and all of a sudden you're starting to think he's going to get tired, and when he gets tired, he's going to make some location mistakes. And that's why Chris Ray is up early.
Roach is doubled, and he's struck out. First pitch strike, and it's 0-1. He has done some of his best pitching, however, when there have been runners all over the place. "80 pitches for Bumgarner. Swing and a miss. Nothing in 2.
Still putting a good snap on that slider. I mean, the slider's the first pitch you lose. That's the one that takes the most strength to throw. And that's still a quick slider with a good location. You can't throw lazy breaking balls to the Roach. You better have some quick snap to them if they're going to work.
Very close, 1-2.
Excellent pitch, an 0-2 paralysis fastball just off the plate a little bit. Let's see how wide the target is. See Buster cheat a little bit, trying to sneak his upper body behind that pitch.
In the dirt, now 2-2. Bumgarner, a couple of spots where he doesn't have to throw a strike. He doesn't have to throw in here on this 2-2 pitch. Johnson at second, Young at first. Got him.
Again, it's the breaking ball that gets him out of the hole. Strikeout number 7. He set wide with the target. Big sweeper. Bang. And look at the stick by Posey. You can give Buster Posey that strikeout. I mean, that's a wide strike. And the way he framed it, elbow below the glove. Bill Miller says, yep. Grab some pine meat.
Here's Reynolds. Reynolds is struck out and he's walked.
Good. Be sure. Know what you want to do. This guy's got too much scare in his bat to make a mistake to location to where he can hurt you, because he will hurt you. And if you are not sure about a pitch, you won't finish it. And they get hit.
On the ground, Uribe. Across the diamond, Bumgarner does it again. Sandoval's going to lead things off.
Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Host Greg Popo is going to have Jack Clark, the Cal rugby head coach. Matt Mayako is going to talk about the 49er insider. John Shea, the National Baseball writer, talking about all kinds of good things about the yard here. Glenn Dickey from the Examiner and Cal Inman from the Bay Area News Group.
1-1 ball game as Sandoval stands in. 1 ball and no strikes. Sandoval down the left field line and out of play. He homered into the pond in the second inning.
Well, here was that pitch, and it was a 2-strike count. It went up inside. Enright wanted to go away. It leaped in, and that was the result.
Into center field. And Chris Young will put it away, and we're going to have a pinch hitter now for Madison Bumgarner. It's going to be Eugenio Velez. So here's Velez. Santiago Garcia is in the Giants bullpen.
So the day ends for Madison Bumgarner. 5 strong innings when you consider what he had to pitch through. Not one time did he have a 1-2-3 inning, but he did strike out 7, just walked 1. And I call it a strong performance because he did battle when he had to.
On the ground on the first pitch, and Velez will be retired. There's Garcia. As Andres Torres is going to hit. Torres singled in the first, struck out looking in the third. Hits a high drive to right. Back is Gillespie. Out of here.
Who's the first guy to greet him when he comes off the field?
Just don't hurt him.
Madison Bumgarner.
Don't hurt him. Giants take a 2-1 lead. Imagine if he gave you a happy hug.
Yeah, you would not be happy.
Come on, he just had his appendix taken out, for crying out loud.
Oh, he'd blow his pancreas up too.
That just fouls it out of play. Hey, to tell you something, I did not see that one coming.
Well, a lot of the home runs that Andres Torres has hit this year have kind of been that way. You just didn't see him coming, and then boom, and then he hits them, and they're big ones.
Sanchez on an 0-2 pitch pops this one down the right field line and out of play.
Well, let's take a look at the home run from Torres from the splash camera. And that's where the big boys go. You got to earn them to get them out there.
My word.
Home run number 16.
The 0-2. Sanchez up the middle. Drew's got it. Ball comes up for him, and he throws him out, and that'll end the inning. 2 solo home runs for the Giants in this game. Sandoval, and here's Andres Torres, and it's bye-bye, baby. It's 2-1 Giants.
just misses one. And he goes, I can't believe it. I want it again. And you know what? He gets it again. He promptly knocks it in the pond. A McCovey Cove home run. That's a Coors Light freeze can brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
So here's Casilla to face John Hester. And a strike. And it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
50th game for Casilla. 7-2, 2.16 ERA. He's been a strong addition to that Giants bullpen. Two-1 Giants. Two-out home runs have been the difference in this game for San Francisco.
In tight. Hester struck out and he singled.
Those are the gentlemen that have hit the round trippers. And they have not been cheap ones either.
Two and two on the 97-mile-an-hour fastball from Casilla. Gillespie, and then the pitcher spot. Got him. All right, let's check in with Amy G. Amy?
All right, gentlemen, I don't know how it happens, but I always find great people from Petaluma at AT&T Park. This is Billy Brody, and he's going to answer today's poll question. You can check it out at home, csnberry.com. If the Giants make the playoffs, who do you think should start, Tim or Matt?
Timmy.
Wow, one-word answer. I like it. He keeps it short and simple. Give us your answer, and then check out the results on Giants Postgame Live. Billy Brody, Petaluma, good job, guys.
It's clearly not everybody from Petaluma keeps it simple. Just kidding, Amy.
Amy, we're just kidding.
Do not get on her bad side.
No, she can drop some stank eye on you.
With 2 road trips to see that stank guy. 0-1 to Gillespie. On the ground, Aubrey Huff. Right there. 2 outs. Yeah, there's the game face.
Yeah. If you're a kid, you do not want to be late. She will spike you over the net.
Kid. Paul sees that all the time. Here's Enright, who's got an RBI in this game, a sacrifice fly. And a strike from Casilla.
That's a live 97. When he keeps that thing down around the knees, he gets sink off that high velocity octane. That's what even makes it scarier.
Uribe gets it in between her. Side retired. Aubrey Huff will lead things off.
Brought to you by Farmers Insurance. To find your local Farmers agent, call 800-FARMERS today. And by Xfinity. TV, phone, and internet. Reinvented.
All right, let's check out our McDonald's game summary. It's a 2-1 lead for the Giants. See the D-backs 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position. That's what Bumgarner did. Enright's got a sacrifice fly. Sandoval and Torres with big home runs. Bumgarner 7 strikeouts, and he forced the Diamondbacks to strand 8. All right, that's our McDonald's game summary. And here's Aubrey Huff. Huff, Posey, Burrow. And Huff straightens up, and he takes the ball. 1 ball and no strike.
Those 2 home runs that Enright gave up early in this ballgame, they were his 18th and 19th home runs given up on the year.
Huff, like he might have been taking all the way, takes a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And you can expect some high home run totals if your home field is Chase Field in Arizona, because it is a live yard. Most home runs given up by a Giant this year. Jonathan Sanchez gave it 21. The most on the Diamondbacks, Rodrigo Lopez, 36.
2-2 on the swing, anyways.
Ian Kennedy, last night's starter, 26 home runs. Basically, if you're giving 1 up every 10 innings, that's about normal. That's good. Anything less than that, obviously, very good.
Up hit a home run off of Enright in Arizona. It may not have been a home run here. You just don't ever know in this ballpark with the weather conditions. 2, make it 3-2 now to Aubrey Huff.
Buster Posey hit a ball out to right field last night. He absolutely crushed. And it got about 2/3 the way in the warning track in right field, but that was it.
Huff takes the walk. Get it back.
Second walk of the game. When you go 1-2 to a walk, that is a good at bat.
Posey went through a stretch in Chicago and Denver where he hit a lot of balls hard and came up with not much. And a lot of times that can lead you into a little bit of a slump.
Now, he's lost 14 points on the batting average the last 10 days. And he's hit the ball hard.
He is.
Last night he had a little of the Gumby shoulders on the fly ball hit the right field. That's the first time we've seen some emotion from him in a long time. But you sense that he is a bit frustrated because he's hit the ball well and he hasn't gotten any hits for it.
Not even close. It's 2-0. There's Boyer in the bullpen. Hot foul. A souvenir. Posey looking down at Tim Flannery. Flannery's birthday yesterday. You know how I know that? He reminded me last night in the parking lot.
He's old.
2 balls and 1 strike. There's Tim Flannery. Good man.
Good man and a very good baseball man. I think he's the best third base coach in the business. If you're a manager, you want your coaches to make a difference, and you can say that about every one of these coaches on this staff of Bruce Bochy. They have done a fantastic job this year.
And that guy right there demands a whole lot out of him.
He does. He lets him coach.
2-1 to Posey. 3-1. Might see Huff go here. Three balls and one strike. Huff goes. Swing and a miss. Throw down to second, and Huff's going to steal it. Not a problem.
Well, he's been perfect all year in that category. 7 steals, and he's not been thrown out one time. They try and stay away from the ground ball. So a swing through and a 3-1, but Huff, not even close. Hester's throw way wide. Johnson never had a chance.
3-2 to Posey. Swing and a drive. Deep left field. This baby out of here. Gibson comes out. Buster Posey hits his 17th home run, and this had to feel good.
Well, he swings through a 3-1 fastball, and the Diamondbacks come back and give him another one. They set up inside. Enright's looking for Sink. He stays inside it. And as soon as he hit it, he went into his trot. He knew that he has now got 17 home runs on the year. And I'd like to know how many of them are in 2-strike counts. And for a guy who's been hitting it hard and they have been falling, I think he has a little bit of a catch that in the back of his mind when he's circling the bags.
Well, you watch his expression, and in a lot of ways it is Jeff Kim.
Yeah.
I mean, just matter of fact.
Just a real little short circle load, everything compact, but when he comes through, it's all in sync. And the Jeff Kim comparison was made by J.T. Snow about 2 weeks ago, and we think it's a good one. Aubrey Huff coming over saying, attaboy,
I might adopt you.
That's his 4th 2-strike homer of the year. I mean, he's got that swing where you don't really know him if he's making an adjustment. Take a look at the little load. Those hands stay high, and then look at the sink as he comes. That's the classic pose right there. Very compact body right in the middle. And look at the nod just stays inside the ball. You have to do that. I mean, a lot of guys take that same sinker, they yank it foul, they hit it into their foot. He stays inside of it, hits it out to left center for his 17th homer. Beautiful at that. Blaine Boyer, the new pitcher now for the Diamondbacks. 54th time he's come in. A sinker baller.
So Boyer to Burrell, and Burrell takes a strike. 4-1 on the 2-run home run by Buster Posey. Burrell hit the big home run last night. At some point during this year, it turned into a big fly team.
It was amazing. This was a team that in April, if they hit 4 balls out in batting practice, we got excited.
I mean, it was all about little ball, and then all of a sudden, it became a big fly team. Burrell way out in front as he pops this one up. And LaRoche will put it away. 1 out. See the home run leaders in September. Posey with 7. Uribe with 6. Burrell with 6. Sandoval and Torres have hit solo shots today. Here's Guillen, who's single in the 4th. Boyer throws hard. The first pitch at 95 is down low.
Now, Boyer's kind of rare. I mean, you don't normally see that type of velocity with sink. I mean, it's heavy.
Yen rolls it to the backstop. Uribe is on deck. We are in the 6th inning. Chopper charging is Drew. Drew's going to juggle it and recover and make a nice play.
Ian's running a lot better. Put a little heat on that play with his speed. That's something he couldn't do 2.5, 3 weeks ago. So that quad's starting to feel better.
Here's Uribe. Uribe is 0 for 2. A strikeout and a fly ball. And he chases that breaking ball and he's behind. No balls and 1 strike.
Good breaking ball from Boyer. I mean, you're so aware of his sink at 95 that you kind of forget about that little breaking ball he's got. It's a good curveball. It serves 2 purposes. It's off speed. It's got a little 2-plane break to it.
In the dirt. Oh, they did a little recruiting, Mike, down there.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. And way down on the left, yep.
Guys have been busy.
Just 2 women. These guys are tired. Forget about busy.
That's right. We got to talk to who's ever in charge of the procurement committee.
One ball and 2 strikes. Foul back. From up above, right down into the Cubby loft. We did a game from there last year. Clearly it wasn't a big hit. We were never invited back.
No, we enjoyed it.
On the ground sharply, Drew to his left. He's got it. He will toss on to first, and that'll end the inning. Buster Posey with his 17th home run. He hits it into the deepest part of the outfield, into left field, and it's bye-bye baby, and it's 4-1 Giants.
to take on the Padres tomorrow, Orange Friday. Game time on Saturday will be a 1:10 start, then a 1:05 Fan Appreciation Day Sunday. Go to sfgiants.com and get your SRO tickets. 4-1 here as Casilla getting set to work. Top of the 7th inning. Stephen Drew on the day, 1 for 3, a single and strikeout. Go with a fielder's choice.
And a strike, nothing in 2. Ryle to follow. You see Nate Sherholtz in right. And the 0-2 pitch is in the dirt. 1-2. Drew rolls this one foul. Matt Williams will pick it up. 1 ball and 2 strikes. A run on 7 hits for the D-backs. For the Giants, 4 runs on 5 hits. However, 3 of the 5 hits have left the park. Drew taps this one. And Casilla, a major shovel job to Huff. And Huff got stepped on, I believe.
Right, when you pick the ball up and your hands are down low, you don't have time to get your arm up into throwing position. So the best way to do it is to follow with a shovel. And you can see just the left foot and perhaps the toe of Aubrey Huff stepped on by Drew. But a nice play from Casilla to get the out.
It's so much easier for an infielder, anybody, to catch the ball when you see it coming underhanded, because you just pick it up. Pick it up a lot sooner than if somebody tries to throw it overhand.
Plus, an underhand throw usually is going to rise, and you're going to get that around the waist or above, whereas an overhand throw will sink, and you'll get one down below. So it's not a play you really work on, but nice little ad-lib there.
Down the right field line, it is a foul ball.
Well, the way Ryle left the batter's box, I'm thinking that's going to be fair, because the guy who's got the best look is the hitter.
All right, so Sherholtz takes care of our group in McCovey Cove. And this guy gets it. Is he going to hand it over?
Give it up.
No, not in that direction. Jeez. Yeah, that's good.
You know, she'd have hugged you back if you gave her the ball, Meade.
That's called a fumble. 1 ball and 1 strike. Check swing foul, 1-2.
You got to give up the ball.
Oh.
There's Cutter John Yandel, the batting practice pitcher for the Giants for many years.
John's not even helping this guy out.
You should tell him, give up the ball.
Well, see? Swing and a miss. And Ryle is out swinging.
Well, a reminder that Bloomberg Sports, the leader in data analysis, has developed an analytical product being used by baseball clubs. There's also a product for fans. You can improve your fantasy play or track your favorite players and teams. All you have to do is go to BloombergSports.com for details. Oh, yeah, they've been there.
How about John taking over, huh?
Cutter John.
Yeah.
Nice going, veteran.
Here's Kelly Johnson. Johnson with a bunt, and it rolls foul, and it's 0-1.
Not a bad play from Johnson. D-backs looking for runners.
As long as you got a guy on deck that can yank one out, it's a good play. Fastball at 97 is up and in. It's right where the writer's location is here at the ballpark. That is one level below us. 2 balls and 1 strike. And that pitch is wide, 3-1.
Now with the 3-run lead, this should be a challenge. And one thing you don't want to start doing is walking people.
Affelt in the bullpen.
Now he's down there thinking about one guy, and that's Adam LaRoche. If the inning gets to LaRoche, he'll be in the ballgame. Garcia trying to prevent that from happening.
3-2 on the challenge by Santiago Casilla.
There's Adam LaRoche, and he's thinking about one guy. Jeremy Affleck.
Three-two pitch. Swinging a high pop-up foul again. And it's a souvenir. I got a text from my brother, Glenn, who's in Seattle with the A's. Taking a walk, right?
Yeah.
Stop in a sports bar, see if you could get the game. He walked in, says packed with Giants fans watching the ball game. Full-on uniform.
Gamers.
3-2.
Oh, that's a good pitch. You don't normally see Casilla walk off and follow a pitch, but he thought he had strike 3 right there. Bill Miller thought that was perhaps a bit inside. But it's all said and done. Kelly Johnson's got a great eye.
And I think it was the right call. So here's Chris Young. Young, Ross, side retired. No runs, a walk, 1 left. Sandoval's going to lead things off. Pablo Sandoval is going to lead things off. 4-1 Giants. It'll be Sandoval. Travis Ishikawa's come out. We do have a new pitcher for the D-backs, and it's Carlos Rosa. Rosa facing Sandoval, who's 1 for 2. Hit a home run on the water in the second. And the pitch is high. 1-0. Bruce Bochy also said he thought he saw better swings, but he said he thought he saw a more confident Pablo Sandoval. And if you remember, there was a long period of time where this kid did not lack confidence. It just oozed out of him. But this is the big leagues, and sometimes you're going to get hit in the gut a few times, and it's going to go away.
He's definitely got more bounce in his step.
And a shot and a diving catch by Reynolds.
Another good at bat from Sandoval. But you know, when you start to see a guy's confidence erode at the plate, all of a sudden it leaks out to his glove, and it happened to him. And you start to doubt everything. And all of a sudden you get a couple hits here, a couple hits there, you start to feel better, and all parts of your game start to improve. And we've watched him quietly put together a nice little confidence streak going.
Plus, I mean, he's been called into the principal's office a couple of times.
See the numbers for Carlos Rosa. 12 walks in 18 innings against 9 strikeouts. He throws the ball hard. He go low to mid-90s. Pretty straight. Hard slide. That's his best strikeout pitch. A changeup. My heart is all afluster when it comes to Buster.
He was the 0-1 to Ishikawa. Swing. He missed. Nothing in 2.
That made me laugh.
Yeah, it did.
It's all a fluster.
You might see that in the Hallmark before the day's over with.
Yeah, could happen.
Pitch is high, 1-2. Ishikawa takes wide, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. A little dribbler out in front of home plate, and it's going to be Rosa, and they got him.
Wow. That was a very good play. We've seen 2 nice plays this last inning with Santiago Casilla on the bunt play, and now Rosa. Problem is when you get down around that baseline, you run the risk of throwing into the runner. And Rosa had to put a little something on it. He didn't have time to shovel, so he had to throw from the low sidearm. And it just does indeed get Travis Ishikawa. Some reaction from Rosa.
So here's Andres Torres, who homered in the 5th inning. And he takes wide, 1 ball and no strikes. One and 0 to Andres Torres. And it's low, 2-0. Enright, Boyer, and now Rosa. And a shot caught by Drew to end the inning. Through 7, it's 4-1 Giants.
There is magic inside, and the fans are a huge reason why that magic is here.
Sergio Romo's the new pitcher, 4-1 Giants, 8th inning. Romo to face Adam LaRoche. LaRoche doubled to the opposite field in the second. And then he struck out twice. The numbers for Romo has been very good.
Pretty good report card right there. 2.28 ERA through 59 in the third innings.
And a shot down the right field line. Foul hits the bullpen mound. And then I think a dad with a kid. How about that play? Can that not be the play of the game?
Well, I've always been impressed with guys who didn't drop an ounce of their beer. But here, the old man, child in arms, goes up, makes the play. And did not drop an ounce. That's a game of dad right there.
Yeah, they got panda stuff coming all over the place. Backpacks, hats.
Good sink on the fastball. One more look at Dad with his little panda. Nice pick. That away, Dad.
He's using the glove to hold the kid.
Yeah, Dad's got some guns. He can hold that little one for about 28 hours. Not a problem.
LaRoche up the middle, and right there is Uribe. Every once in a while you see the shift work.
And that's when you have to say thank you, Ron Wotus.
Right.
Giants bench coach is in charge of setting that defense. Had to play right where they should have been.
Reynolds is struck out. He's walked and he's bounced out. Swing and a miss. 0-1. Lopez in the Giants bullpen. Just a bit outside.
Close.
Very close. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
So creative with that pitch. I think it just marvels is how he can go inside, outside with it. And they're not, you're so geared up to the outside corner if you're a right-handed pitcher with a breaking ball to a right-handed hitter. But he pitches on the inside corner. Natural, low three-quarter release, and he can go down all the way down the sidearm.
Outside, 2-2.
The lower you go with your angle, the flatter the breaking ball, but the bigger the break, and the ball will frisbee it, and it'll flatten out and give you a wide sweeping type break. The higher the angle, the more tilt you'll get, more two-plane break you'll get on your breaking ball. And he totally understands all that.
Got him.
Well, join us tomorrow as the San Diego Padres come to town, the final home stand 3 games. And we'll see it here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. pregame live at 6:30. Matt Cain on the hill for the Giants taking on the lefty Clayton Richard. Zito Stauffer will be at the Saturday 1:10 first pitch. And then Jonathan Sanchez, Matt Latos will be Sunday. And Saturday's game will be a KNBR game. We will be there bringing you the action on the radio.
Montero swings and misses. Am I working with you Saturday?
You betcha. You, me, and the big kahuna.
Dave gets to do a Stanford football game.
He'll be up in Oregon.
0-1 pitch to Montero is a belt high strike. 0-2.
Oh, yeah. Fear the beard. That's awesome.
Oh, 2 pitch in the dirt. 1-2.
Like George Carlin would say, see my beard, ain't it weird? Don't be scared, it's just a beard. Fear the beard. And that has been a signature of the Giants bullpen. Jeremy Affeldt has joined the bearded ones with Sergio Romo and Brian Wilson.
Got him. It's a pair of strikeouts for Romo. Well, some exciting action here at the ballpark this afternoon. 3 home runs will do that to a crowd that was ready and willing to have some fun this afternoon. Freddie Sanchez will lead things off.
Leo Rosales, the new pitcher for the D-backs, 15th time that he has come into a game, 2-0 on the year. 12 strikeouts in 15 innings. He's got good stuff.
Sanchez on the ground to third. And Reynolds will retire Sanchez on 1 pitch. Montero stays in the game to do the catching. And here's Aubrey Huff. Aubrey Huff has walked twice. His only official at bat, he bounced out to first. He did that in the 3rd inning.
Good changeup.
Inside corner to even the count.
Nice arm action on that changeup. D-backs bullpen has done a nice job today. Another good changeup. Blaine Bory came in relief of Enright. Had a perfect 1-2-3. Then Rosas 1-2-3 in the 7th. This is an area where the Diamondbacks are really going to try and improve themselves over the offseason. And they need a shutdown closer.
It's Daryl Galt on the first base line. See a ball dude with a uniform with his name on the back. You know what that usually means?
What's that? Fantasy camper?
Yep.
Yep, he's been there. He's got the look.
And a soft line drive caught by Johnson for out number 2.
Fantasy camp ought to be pretty filled up this year.
I would think so. Here's Buster Posey. Yep. Somebody else was put in charge.
Yeah, somebody is just scuffling out there. How about the new Panda Army helmet, huh? I like it.
Oh. Those folks started out the show. I just enjoyed my day ever since then.
Yeah.
You're right. They have to be sisters.
Oh, yeah. They're going to be Twinkies. Come on.
Posey takes high, 2-0. Posey missed their home run sign by about 200 feet. But they're making an effort, and that's what we like about our fans.
Oh, it's all about attitude. And they have had more fun than anybody else in that row today, working that sign. But it's the Panda Space Helmet that's lighting me up.
Lighting you up? It's scaring me. What are you talking about? There's a base hit for Buster Posey right back up the middle.
Well, they're starting to fall now.
Take a look at this swing on his home run.
Came at a 3-2 count, Barry Enright, and it was a 2-1 ball game. 4th time this year he has had a home run and a 2-strike count. And he takes the trot, and this place erupted.
Second hit for Posey. Here's Sherholtz batting for the first time. Sherholtz on the ground sharply, but picked cleanly by LaRoche. He goes to the bag, and that'll end the inning. 9th inning coming up, 4-1 Giants. whatever reason you missed it at 6, you can pick it up again at 10:30 right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. It'll be Scott Reese and Damon Andrews, and it'll be live from Willie Mays Plaza. Full Giants coverage, 49ers, all over the news. Sportsnet Central. Parr is going to hit for Gillespie. Parr will be facing Ramon Ramirez. And a new second baseman is Mike Fontenot. And a strike. It's been Bumgarner, Casilla, Romo, and now that man, Ramirez.
There you see his numbers. They've been fantastic with the Giants. 0.70 ERA. Ryan Wilson, a 5-out save 2 nights ago. Last night a save. Today a quick turnaround with a day game, and Bruce Bochy wants to steer clear of him and give him a day off. And Ramirez inherits that responsibility to close this thing out. Mike Fontenot goes into second base.
2-1 pitch. Out of play, 2-2.
And one thing about Ryan Wilson, it's bad in a way. I mean, because if you're his manager, you can't trust him. If Bruce Bochy goes to Ryan Wilson, if he's throwing 41 days in a row and he's got a compound fracture, if Bochy asked him if he was good to go, Wilson would say, absolutely, I'm good to go. So you kind of have to make the decision on your own.
Lined into center field, but Andres Torres has got a beat on it. Wow. Ryan Church is going to hit.
But I think you kind of have to have that mentality if you're going to be the closer. I heard yesterday's postgame interview with Javier Lopez. Lopez was talking about Brian Wilson. He said he is a true warrior. The guy is just a stud down there in that bullpen. He's their soul. He's their anchor. But there are days when he needs to have a day off, and today is one of them.
Here's Church. In a lot of ways, you'd almost be better off by just telling him to stay home.
Well, that's what Herbert Franks used to do with Bruce Sutter.
Stay home.
He'd send him home. Saw him fly him out of Montreal one day ahead of the team just so he would pitch.
0-1 to Ryan Church. Stephen Drew on deck. We're in the 9th. On the ground, foul. Not a problem.
Ball dude's been money down there.
Money. Better than one from last night.
Okay, last night. I don't know.
Chris Beeman. Unbelievable. One ball and 2 strikes. Down the right field line. Foul.
1-2 change up. Breaks the bat of Church.
New lumber for Church. Got him.
94-mile-an-hour fastball right after the changeup. And then it'll accelerate the pitch in the eye of the hitter, and he throws it right by a quick back. Just rears up and country hard balls right through him. Grab some time. 12th Diamondback to strike out against Giants pitching today.
Here's Stephen Drew, 1 for 4. And a bit high. 1 ball and no strikes. Two balls and no strikes. Two balls and a strike. 37,261 are on their feet here at AT&T Park as Ramon Ramirez is trying to close this one out. And the 2-1 pitch is a strike at the knees, 2-2.
94 outside corner with some fuzz on it.
The crowd will tell you the story. 3-2. And the payoff pitch. Foul back.
95, reaching back. And Stephen Drew was right on it.
Ramirez said another payoff. Popped him up. Andres Torres. Ball game. Giants sweep the Diamondbacks. They pick up a half a game on the Padres, who will start very shortly. The Giants win this one by a final of 4-1. And there you take a look at what is going on. 2.5 up on San Diego. It was the story of Madison Bumgarner, the bullpen, and 3 big flies. How about that?
Well, 3 big flies, and 2 of them were solo shots with 2 outs. And the Giants took the lead on one of those home runs, an Andres Torres home run. And then it was Buster Posey who added a 2-run shot. And that was all the Giants would need. The pitcher would make it stand. And the magic number is now 2. And not only that, but in 15 minutes, the Padres are going to start their game against the Chicago Cubs down in San Diego, and the pressure is definitely on them. And an emotional 3 games. This is the first 3 games in this homestand. And again, we always talk about what a great effort the Giants did, but the fans have brought an electricity into this ballpark. The last 3 nights have been absolutely amazing. And Kipe, I got to tell you, this is exciting times.
You know, the one thing the Giants didn't do is they did not take this Diamondbacks team lightly. All they had to do is look back at what Arizona did to the Colorado Rockies last week. And Arizona played well. They had some good pitching performances. But in the end, the team that is trying to get to the finish line is the team that won the 3 games.
Well, indeed. And I think Pat Burrow is the guy who echoed it every day. Stay in the moment. Stay in the moment. Stay with the team you're playing. They've done that, and now they're ready for San Diego.
All right, let's go down to Amy G with a guest. Amy?
All right, gentlemen, Buster Posey joining me now. And Buster, you guys are 1 game closer to your ultimate goal of the postseason. But I think what's most impressive is even though you know you've been in the driver's seat, you're actually playing like you are. And that has to bode well confidence-wise for you guys.
Well, we knew this was a big game. I mean, you can't say enough about, everybody. You look at the first guy that comes to my head is Torres, battling back after appendicitis and coming and doing what he's doing. it's pretty special.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many amazing stories. Let's quickly go through your sixth inning two-run home run. Coming into the game today, you were 0 for 7 on this homestand. You were definitely due, but you also had very good numbers against Enright, which seemed to give you confidence up at the plate today, and you came through big time. Take us through that at-bat.
Well, you know what? I finally got a pitch to hit. He does a good job of staying out of the middle of the plate, and 3-2 gave me a good pitch. Finally got something up and put a good swing on it.
It was pretty. Speaking of Torres, who you just mentioned, his solo home run today enabled Madison Bumgarner to get the win. It is his first win at this park, which kind of seems unbelievable, but that has to just feel good all the way around for you guys to get your starting pitcher the win and see Torres come back the way he has and made the impact that he has.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, it's no secret how good our guys are, our starting staff, and it's pretty unbelievable. Madison hasn't had a win here, so he needs to take Torres out to dinner, I think.
Okay, you go tell him that. Not just your starting staff, Buster, but your relievers, they came in and just got the job done. Actually, 12 strikeouts from all your pitchers today, and it just seems like it's a real treat for you to catch this staff.
Yeah, it makes my job fun. You know, when you're able to take a guy like Madison out in the fifth who, I don't know, is it 80 pitches or something?
85, yeah.
You know, and then our bullpen comes in and throws 4 dominant innings. It's fun for me.
And we can't not talk about Pablo Sandoval. He set the tone for you guys today with his solo shot in the second, and he has struggled as of late, and it's been well documented, but he has worked so hard watching video, making adjustments. What does that say to you, not only to see how hard he's working on his struggles at the plate, but see him come through at a time when you need him the most?
It was a big hit, no doubt. I mean, got us on the board first, kind of allowed everybody to take a deep breath, and, you know, the great thing about Pablo is you don't know whether he's 0 for 10 or 8 for 10. He's going to come to the park. He's going to have fun each day. So, fun guy to have on the team.
Okay, really fast, wait, Mike. I'm going to throw Buster under the bus. He wants to know why you guys look so cold up there. It's hot out here.
Well, tell Buster that there's a big difference in age.
That's right.
All right. Madison Bumgarner wins his first game at home, and Ramon Ramirez had 2 saves in the American League, his first save for the Giants. Stay tuned. Giants postgame live with interviews on the Wrap starts right now.